In this video, we are going to take a look at how we read for and then begin to analyze methods of characterization within a story. So our goal in this video is for you to be able to identify at least 4 methods of characterization from a novel or story of your choice. So grab your novel that you're currently reading and have that nearby because we're going to pause and do some work during it. In our previous video, we took a look at different methods of characterization, our indirect methods of what characters say, look like, think, what they do, and what they feel, what other characters feel or think, and our direct method, what we're flat out told by the narrator. You will have a sheet that looks like this, or if you want to create your own, either on paper or on Google, for us to take a look at a character at a time and give examples of what that character says and looks like, what they think or feel, what they do, what other characters say about them, and what we're flat out directly told. So if this helps, we're going to be taking a look at this at the end here again. We're going to first start with this excerpt from Little Red Riding Hood, or Little Red Cap, depending on the translation. If you need to pause right now, please pause the video and please read the story on the screen. Once you have unpaused and are listening to me again, we're going to continue by looking at the rest of the story and identifying methods of characterization. So we can see here that the narrator says that she did not know what a wicked animal he was. We are flat out told through direct characterization that he's wicked. We don't have to make any conclusion. The author tells us for us, which is why it's direct. Let's take a look at another example. Here, the wolf says, "Good day to you, little red cap." We know he's talking because the next line says, "Thank you, wolf." So we know that red is responding, which means the previous line belonged to the wolf. This is an example of what a character says. It's an indirect method of characterization. So then we have to consider, well, what did we learn about the wolf because he says this? Now, when most people say hi, have a good day, it doesn't mean much. If you know the story of Little Red Riding Hood, we know there is something else going on. Just based on what he's saying here, though, it seems that the wolf is friendly and talkative and curious, especially as he keeps going. He asks questions. We see more curiosity. But this is based on what he is saying. We don't get a thought of the wolf saying, "Oh, I'm very curious," or "Oh, I think I'll be very friendly." We know this because he says it. And our conclusion, because he's saying something nice as opposed to "get out of my way," our conclusion is he's friendly or talkative. Our last example here is at the bottom of the screen, and it says, "The wolf thought to himself, 'Now that sweet young thing is a tasty bite for me.'" Here we get what a character thinks. We know he's thinking it. It says, "The wolf thought to himself." Our conclusion then, because we have to draw a conclusion if it's an indirect method of characterization, is that he is hungry or he's opportunistic. He's going to take advantage of her. We already saw that he was friendly, so maybe he's actually pretty tricky. And because we are flat out told he's wicked, we know he's up to something. So perhaps tricky was a better word when we looked at what the character was saying. And here I think the word opportunistic is probably pretty good for him. If I conflate all of this into one chart, notice I've taken what the character says, put word for word up top. Here's what he's saying, and our conclusion, he's friendly or talkative or curious. I placed word for word from the story, what he thinks or feels, and I drew my conclusion. And then I put what we were flat out told, that he's a wicked beast. What we would like you to do now is go to your story and use the document we gave you to take notes as you read for your novel to identify a character. Just pick one. If you want to pick 2 characters, you can. Maybe you want multiple things that one character says. Maybe you want multiple things of what a character looks like. Maybe you want to try to find one of each method of characterization. And not all authors use all characterization for all characters. If you're in a first-person story, you're not going to have any direct characterization, because anything we're directly told is really a character's internal thoughts or feelings. So your goal as you're working through your novel is to identify at least 4 methods of characterization from a story novel. Whether they're 4 different ones or 4 of the same is totally up to you. But pause this video, review it as many times as you need to, and find at least 4 methods of characterization from your novel.